With so much new technology around us and an explosion of new smart devices on the market, it's vital that we stay aware of the threats that they pose and how they may potentially be used against us, and what to do to make them as secure as possible. Firstly, let's make a list of all of the internet connected devices in your home. So that'll be laptops, tablets and your smartphone, just to give a few examples. It will also need to include, though, devices that you wouldn't normally think of, such as your routers, smart TVs and thermostats, as well as virtual assistant technologies and connected fitness watches and smart equipment. Each of these devices is referred to an endpoint, and to a cybercriminal, they're an entry point into your online information. It's critical to safeguard every endpoint so that you may go about your business without fear of security breaches. Here's the ultimate device security checklist to help you get through your day with confidence and safety. Keep an eye out for software updates which might include security upgrades. Set your devices to automatically update if you don't think you'll have time to manually update software, and this will really ensure that you've got the most recent security patches and bug fixes as soon as they become available. Get into the practice of putting your computer to sleep when you step away, especially if you work in public places like coffee shops, libraries, or even your kitchen table. You can make things easy for yourself by memorizing the sleep command shortcut. On a Mac, for example, the keyboard command is Command-Option-Eject, while on a Windows machine, it's Alt-F4. When it comes to public Wi-Fi networks, always log on with a VPN that will encrypt your data, rendering it unreadable to any threat actors lurking on the network. Another option to protect your valuable gadgets and accounts is to use two-factor authentication, or 2FA. Anyone attempting to log onto your device will be required to provide at least two forms of identity. Laptops and desktop computers are excellent gateways into the online world. Just think about all the payment information, passwords and personal information that you've got on them. Password protecting your laptops and desktops using strong passwords or passphrases is the best approach to protect the contents of your computer. Just to remind you, here's some of the best practices for passwords and working remotely safely. Choose a passphrase that's at least 12 characters long, the longer the better, and make sure it's not shared with any other device or account. Some letters should be replaced by digits or symbols, and try to use a combination of capital and lower letters. Best thing to do, of course, though, is use a password manager, and this will really give you the best balance between security and convenience. Antivirus software helps to protect your devices against well-known viruses on the internet. Find the best software package that suits your needs by having a good shop around. Many antivirus software packages now come with numerous different features and tools, and it can really help you to maintain your device's performance as well as protect it from malware. Now, because your router is the gateway to all your connected devices in your home, it's critical to strengthen its security. The best way to do this is to change the router's name and password to something other than the factory defaults that it came with. Always keep your home router password protected using the same password best practices that we went through in the Password Essentials lesson. Another way to keep strangers out of your Wi-Fi network is to enable the settings that prevent non-users from seeing it. While it is quite amusing to see what names your neighbours come up with for their home networks, it's probably best that you keep yours completely private. IoT stands for Internet of Things, and it refers to the many internet connected devices that are available these days. The market for IoT is exploding and the number of smart devices is growing exponentially. It's also worth remembering that most of these are not manufactured with internet security in mind, and as I mentioned earlier, each one of these is a possible attack vector on your home network. There have been reports of cybercriminals gaining control of smart home devices and virtual assistant technology. In one particular example, someone hacked a homeowner's virtual assistant and blasted music through the home speakers whilst turning the heat up 90 degrees. The key to protecting the connected devices that control your heating and cooling, shopping lists, and even your home security system is to connect them to a secure router and protect them with a strong password or passphrase. Let's now go over to Q and see if he has anything to add from an attacker's perspective.
Any IoT manager knows that devices go missing 5% of the time, whether that's they get stolen from a car or they just get lost. Understanding that the data on there, even if the physical device is taken and can be reset, that the data on there isn't accessible. Most of the time it's stuff like BIOS passwords, ensuring that the disk drive on the device is encrypted, as well as just some common sense stuff like not putting it in clear view when you're in a car, always keeping it with you. If you are like desperate and you need to run off somewhere, ensuring that you turn it off first, because it's a lot easier to take a password from something that's turned on than turned off. So if you ever get caught with the police, now you know. And it's a very, very important step, quite honestly. Yeah, it's so hard to take a password from something that's turned off. Like, the police hate that stuff. That's how they get you, is like they make sure you can't turn your phone off because the password's in memory. So they can just take out the memory chip and read it.
Thanks, Q. That's it for this one. Join us in the next video where we'll be looking at the pros and cons of a bring your own device policy.